He told his wife he'd be back before dark, but when the sun set that day, his footprints just stopped. Right in the middle of the forest. No body, no signs of struggle, just empty woods and a mystery that haunts people to this day. This is the true story of the man who walked into the woods and was never seen again. A story that will make you question everything you think you know about our world. It was a normal Tuesday morning in May 1987. The sun was shining, birds were singing. Nothing felt wrong. David Parker woke up at 6 a.m. like he always did. He was 34 years old, a teacher at the local high school. Everyone in town knew him, and everyone liked him. He lived in a small town in Vermont with his wife, Sarah. They had been married for 8 years. They were happy. No problems, no fights. Just a normal, happy couple. That morning, David made coffee. He ate breakfast with Sarah. They talked about their plans for the week. Everything was normal. Around 9 a.m., David put on his hiking boots and grabbed his backpack. He had done this hundreds of times before. He loved these woods and had been hiking there since he was a kid. Sarah asked him, "What time will you be home?" David smiled and said, "Before dark, probably around 5 p.m. I'm just going to check out the old trail, the one by the river." He kissed her goodbye and walked out the door. She watched him get in his car and drive away. That was the last time anyone who knew him would see David Parker alive. David arrived at the forest parking area at 9:30 a.m. There were only 2 other cars there. It was a Tuesday, so the trails were quiet. A park ranger named Tom Miller saw him that morning. Tom had worked at the forest for 20 years and knew all the regular hikers. He remembered David walking past the ranger station, waving at him. David waved back. He seemed fine, normal, happy even. Tom said later, he looked like he always did, relaxed, ready for a good hike. Nothing was strange about him that morning. David started down the main trail at around 9:45 a.m. The trail was popular, well marked, and ran along a river for about 3 miles before looping back to the parking area. The weather was perfect. Around 70 degrees, clear skies, no rain in sight. These were ideal hiking conditions. But something was about to happen, something nobody could explain. At 10:30 a.m., a couple was hiking on the same trail. They saw David walking ahead of them. The woman, Lisa Chen, remembered it clearly. She said, "He was about 50 feet ahead of us, walking at a steady pace. Nothing seemed wrong, but then something weird happened." Lisa and her husband Mark watched as David suddenly stopped walking. He stood completely still for about 30 seconds, staring into the woods. They called out, "Hey, you okay?" David didn't respond. He didn't even turn around. Then he started walking again, but this time he walked off the trail, straight into the thick forest. Lisa said, "We thought it was strange, but we figured maybe he knew a shortcut or something. We didn't think too much about it at the time." They finished their hike and went home, unaware they had been among the last people to see David Parker alive. By 5:30 p.m., Sarah began to worry. David was always on time, always. If he said 5 p.m., he meant 5 p.m. She called his cell phone, straight to voicemail. By 6 p.m., she was truly alarmed. She called again and again. No answer. At 6:30 p.m., she drove to the forest parking area. David's car was still there, just sitting alone. Her heart raced. She got out of the car and called his name. No response, only the wind rustling through the trees. She looked inside David's car. His wallet was on the passenger seat. His cell phone was there too. The battery was dead. This didn't make sense. David always took his phone with him. Always. Sarah ran to the ranger station. Tom was finishing up his shift. "My husband," Sarah said, her voice shaking. "He went hiking this morning. He's not back. His car is still here." Tom asked for David's description. When Sarah described him, Tom nodded. "I saw him this morning around 9:45. He went down the main trail. Tom said. He called the police. They told Sarah to go home and wait, promising to start searching first thing in the morning. Sarah didn't sleep. She just sat by the phone, hoping David would call, but he never did. The next morning, over 100 volunteers gathered at the forest parking area. Police officers, park rangers, and locals joined in. They had search dogs, helicopters, everything they needed. The plan was simple: search every trail, every path, every corner of the forest. The search dogs picked up David's scent immediately and led the handlers down the main trail. For the first 2 miles, everything made sense. Footprints in the soft dirt, size 10 boots, steady pace. But then, at exactly 2.3 miles down the trail, something impossible happened. The footprints stopped. Not at a river, not at rocks, just in the middle of the dirt path. The lead dog, a German shepherd named Rex, stopped, barking and running in circles, whining. His handler, Officer James Rodriguez, had never seen the dog act like this. It was like the scent just vanished, he said. 1 second, Rex was following the trail perfectly. The next, he couldn't find anything. He was confused, scared. All the other search dogs reacted the same way, at the exact same spot. They couldn't continue. The search team spread into the surrounding woods, looking under bushes, behind trees, in ditches. Nothing. No signs of struggle, no torn clothing, no blood. It was like David simply vanished into thin air. Helicopters flew over the forest all day with heat sensors. Nothing. By the end of the first day, they had searched a 5-mile radius. No trace. As the search continued, more strange details came out. Lisa Chen told police how David stared into the woods as if drawn by something. His eyes looked empty, like he was there, but not really, she said. 2 other hikers, Robert Mills and Helen Foster, saw him acting similarly, walking without acknowledging them, ignoring obstacles, like he was in a trance. All these witnesses described the same thing. David seemed present, but also not. As if something else had taken control of him. The police investigated for 3 weeks. No unusual activity in his life, no deaths, no enemies, nothing to suggest he had run away. Bank accounts, emails, phone records, everything normal. Hospitals, shelters, airports, no one saw him. Even a private investigator, Richard Cole, who had a 90% success rate solving missing person cases, could not explain it. It's like David Parker simply ceased to exist at that spot. Over the years, theories emerged. Some said he got lost, fell, or was attacked by an animal, but the search was thorough. Others thought he ran away, but why leave wallet, phone, and car? Then there are the stranger theories. Some believe he walked into another dimension. Others think something in the forest took him, not human. A few friends said David had dreams about the forest, feeling a pull to go there, as if it was calling him. Sarah never gave up. She walked the trails every week, calling his name. She kept all his belongings exactly where he left them. "I know it's been years," she said, "but I feel like he's out there somewhere." Strange stories continued. Hikers reported feeling watched where his footprints ended. Phones would die. Footsteps behind them, but nobody there. Some even claimed to see a man matching David's description far away, disappearing when approached. The trail became known as Parker's Path, or the Vanishing Trail. Years later, a teenage boy went missing there. He said he saw a man standing silently in the woods, David. Sarah passed away in 2019, leaving instructions that if David ever returned, he should know she never stopped loving him. To this day, the case remains unsolved. The forest and the trail are still there, though fewer people dare to walk it. Sometimes hikers hear footsteps in the dark, slow and steady, going deeper into the woods. Some say it's just the wind or animals. Others wonder if David is still there, trapped, unable to return, or taken by something beyond understanding. Maybe some places in this world don't follow the rules. Maybe footprints can stop in the middle of a path. Maybe David found one of these places, or maybe it found him. The woods keep their secrets, and maybe some secrets are meant to stay hidden forever. If you want to hear more mysteries like this one, subscribe to the channel. There are more stories, more questions with no answers, and more disappearances that can't be explained. Stay curious, stay careful, and maybe think twice before walking into the woods alone.